Welcome to another episode of Game Time, presented this week by Newsenda Credit Union. I'm JP Murrieta, and this week we are at Highland High School, home of the Hornets and their boys basketball team, and head coach Justin Woody. Thanks for joining us this week.
Thanks for having us, JP. We appreciate it.
It's that time of year. We're in the postseason. Do you like the way that your team is playing right now? Hopefully peaking at the right time. And how about those matchups, the first round in the bracket and the way it all sizes up?
It's an exciting time of year. Season 4 we talk about. Season 1 being the non-district portion of the schedule. Season 2 being the district part of the schedule. Now Season 3 is kind of what we always look forward to. And it's something that we've been preparing for back since the summertime. So we didn't have the best summer, but we've continued to work hard and get better. And so I think that we're much better now than we were, especially back in June and November when we started.
Well, you have another team that reached postseason once again, and you told me earlier that you thought this team reminded you a little bit of that 2020 finalist squad. How come?
They do. We're a little bit under the radar that year. We didn't have a very good record going into district. We were 11-10, and we won 10 games in a row that season and made it to the state championship. And this team has a lot better record than that, but I think just kind of where we started was a similar place. We kind of struggled some this summer and then lost a few games in the preseason, but it's all things that made us better.
I want to talk a little bit about this gentleman behind me. Jesus Lincoln has range that he could probably hit one from the parking lot. Does he have a green light all the time? What sort of a valuable resource is he for you in this team?
Yeah, when he walks into the gym, that's his range. And so we're proud of him, but he works hard. It's not something that he just, he's got the natural ability, but he shoots 1,000 shots a day. And, if you want to be better at something, you have to practice a lot, and he does that.
How do you prepare your team for the postseason?
I think we have to get in the film room, watch a lot of film, be prepared, improve on things that we need to improve on, getting stops on the defensive side, making sure we're finishing possessions with rebounds, making sure we're getting ball movement and paint touches, working on things we need to improve on, and then also being prepared for whoever we're playing.
What are your thoughts on your first round opponent?
Los Alamos is really good. They were preseason top 5 in the state. They started off a little bit slow, and they're really hot right now. They won their district tournament, beat a really good Taos team by 13 in the championship game Saturday night. So we've got our hands full. We've got to have a really good week of practice this week.
Just outside that door is the state championship trophy you and the team won back in 2022. What do you remember about that run? What stands out about that group and that team?
I think just the unselfishness of the team. They wanted to win, and it didn't matter who was getting the credit or who was getting the points or rebounds, as long as we were doing it together. So,
what's the key to making a deep run at the state tournament?
I think there's so many factors. Obviously, we have to play well. We have to play really good defense. We have to rebound. We have to be able to make open shots when we're open. And then, of course, there's always a little bit of luck. We avoid injuries, and anything can happen inside the pit, and we've all seen it. And that's what makes it so fun. It's not a series like the professional level. It's one game to decide who's moving on to the next round or to win the championship. It's not a series, so and that's the fun part about it.
Well, good luck on your opening round matchup. Congratulations on a well-earned number 1 seed.
Thank you, appreciate it.
We'll be back with more Game Time after this. Are you living the life of an athlete? The New Mexico Activities Association brings you Life of an Athlete, a resource for students, educators, and parents to understand the challenges students face. Athletes, one night of drinking will negatively affect your athletic performance for 2 weeks, and athletes who drink or do drugs are twice as likely to get injured. Alcohol's effects can reduce a high school athlete's potential by as much as 20 to 30%. Are you living the life of an athlete? Log on to the website to find out today.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Hey, this is Raul Stanford from Highland High School. Welcome back to Game Time.
Welcome back to Game Time, presented this week by Nusenda Credit Union. We already talked with the Highland Hornets, the #1 seed in Class 4A. Now let's take a look at all of the brackets for the 2024 Nusenda Credit Union State Basketball Championships. Let's start with boys Class 1A. Magdalena earned the top seed in this bracket. Magdalena was last year's state runner-up. They've reached the final each of the last 3 years. They are 27-1 overall. Grants is the only team to beat them this season. Magdalena only has 3 losses over the past 4 seasons. They are currently riding an 18-game win streak. Fort Sumner House is your defending state champ. The Foxes will host Dora this weekend. Fort Sumner, Logan, and Melrose are all in the same district, and they all received a top 5 seed.
You know how exciting this time of the year is, and hopefully you feel good about who you've played, and getting beat up is probably not a bad thing. Early in the year, you kind of want to be tested. And then you look at Des Moines. One of our losses is to Des Moines. And Coach Dartery does a fantastic job with those kids up there. They got 3 really, really good players up there. So, I mean, when you start thinking about our strength of schedule and who we've played, and Fort Sumner's played Clovis, and, we've played Robertson. So, like I said, 1A basketball is really, really good right now. And all of us have kind of beat up on each other. It looks like Mag's kind of the one to control everybody right now, but we'd definitely like a shot at them.
In Class 2A, ATC heads into the postseason as the #1 seed. They came up short in last year's final and say they have some unfinished business. Academy for Technology and the Classics will take on Clayton in the opener. They're playing that game Saturday at 6 o'clock at Powake High School. Eunice is the 2 seed, and they are hot right now, winners of 16 straight. Tularosa is your 3 seed and riding a 10-game win streak as well.
We always say family, we always say together, we always say work. And then a big thing is just believe, you know what I mean? A lot of these kids, that's one of their things. They just got to believe in themselves, trust in themselves. And if we do that, we're going to be all right. We're going to play hard no matter what. And if we play hard, we're going to stick in games.
In Class 3A, Robertson is the #1 seed. Robertson reached the final each of the last 2 years. On the other side of the bracket, Navajo Prep is the 2. They host Sandia Prep on Saturday. Navajo Prep has high expectations and would welcome a shot at the top-seeded Cardinals if they get a chance to meet in the final.
Those guys, again, the last 2 years we've watched teams that beat us either win the state championship or play in it. And just if you're trying to be in that conversation, you don't want it any other way. You're not trying to dodge anybody. You're not overlooking anybody either. You see it every night through the district tournament. Teams sneak up on teams let some games get away. So again, it's just one game at a time, and just focused on the process, and just trying to put your 4 or 5 best games through the end of the season here together. But you do have certain ones matched up or circled if that comes up, for sure.
Here's a look at the 4A boys bracket. Defending state champ Albuquerque Academy is the 4 seed and will host Gallup. Los Alamos and Bloomfield punch their ticket by winning their district tournaments. In Class 5A, 2-time defending state champ Volcano Vista will take on Capital in the opening round for the 2nd year in a row. Capital beat out Hobbs and Rio Rancho for the final spot in the field. District rivals La Cueva and El Dorado will meet in the first round. Cleveland is the 3 seed. They are the only team to beat Volcano Vista this year.
We know that we are beatable. We know that. And that's good for us to know. So we can stay on edge and stay, keep our guard up and know that we've got to be at or close to our best, as often as we can to give ourselves the best chance we would have.
Hi, I'm Jesus Licon from Highland High School, and we'll be back with more Game Time.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail. Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials across the country, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Welcome back to Game Time from Highland High School. We already covered the 5 brackets for the boys. Now let's take a look at the 5 brackets for the girls at the 2024 Newsenda Credit Union State Basketball Championships. Let's start in Class 1A. Defending state champ Roy Mascaro is the number 1 seed. They only have 1 loss on the year. Cliff is the 2 seed on the other side of the bracket. They will host Reserve Friday at 6:30. Now, looking at these teams, Magdalena is at 5, and according to their school, it's been a long time since the Magdalena girls hosted a playoff game.
We are not big, and I will not be ruining any scouting reports if anybody is worried about it. So we had to kind of change the way we play our game. We're not going to be able to sit back and post anybody up or anything like that. So we kind of tried to speed up our game a little bit and the type of play that we have, and just, use the best of what we have to offer as far as our little girls go and our aggressiveness. And so far it's been successful. I mean, we've had ups and downs, but for the most part it's been successful, and it's been a fun ride so far.
In Class 2A, Mesa Vista earned the number 1 seed. They only have 1 loss since the first week of December. They will host Capitan on Friday. Texco's the defending state champ. They are a 10 seed and will take on Dulce at 4 o'clock on Friday. Top seed Mesa Vista has never won a girls' state championship.
And that's what we always say. We're hopefully the last team that's standing, get that last win of the season. And like I told these girls, you think this place gets wild, and the NRGs is another special northern tournament. And I think we had 2,500 plus fans this year. And so I told them, girls, let's multiply that times 2 or 3, because the north comes together when you make it down to the pit. So they're mentally ready. It's 1 game at a time. Stay hungry, stay humble.
Defending state champ Tohatchee is the top team in Class 3A. They returned most of their team from last season. Tohatchee will host Crown Point on Friday. 3 seed Navajo Prep will host Socorro at 5:30 on Friday. Tohatchee has had some battles this season with Navajo Prep.
We continue to do what got us here. Continue to stay focused and have the urgency that we always talk about. We know what it takes to get us there. We know the formula, and as long as we continue to stay on course, stay focused, I think the girls have an opportunity to do something great.
Kirtland Central is the 1 seed in Class 4A. The Lady Broncos are 25-3 overall. Their only losses are to La Cueva, Farmington, and Gallup. Kirtland Central came up short in the final last season. Head coach Devin Manning didn't really know what to expect with this year's group.
We started off pretty unknowing at the beginning of the year when we went to Page, and we had 3 tough games there. And I think that kind of set the tone for our season with who our players were, how we wanted to play, and just the kind of just the heart that the girls had. 3 tough games, barely with any practice time, and then we just kind of kept trying to get better every game. We had a lot of good competition this year that's made us where we are so far.
In the 5A girls bracket, Hobbs is number 1. Hobbs is your defending state champ. In fact, they've reached the final each of the last 6 seasons. They don't have 1 senior on this year's roster. Junior Brett Clay is leading the way for the Eagles. Looking at this lineup, the top 4 teams in District 2, Sandia, Farmington, El Dorado, and La Cueva, all earned a top 8 seed. La Cueva and Farmington are the only New Mexico schools to beat Hobbs this year.
The only thing I'm worried about, JP, is that we're playing 1 game a week, and it's hard to get in a rhythm and really see where we're at. You know what I mean? And it's been kind of that way for the last couple weeks, and then it's going to be that way for the next couple. So that's your only concern, is hopefully getting in a rhythm and all that good stuff.
The first round games will take place this week. The girls will take the court on Friday, and the boys will play on Saturday. The games will be played at the home site of the better seed. You can purchase tickets for those first round games at gofan.co/NMAA. That's going to do it for another episode of Game Time, presented this week by Newsenda Credit Union. Thanks for watching. Make sure you tune in next week, because we're going to update the brackets, talk to some more coaches as they prepare for the quarterfinals of the 2024 Newsenda Credit Union State Basketball Championships. We'll see you next time on Game Time.